Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming to you out of Roslyn in country New South Wales, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 175. Hello out there, I'm your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, and joining me in this beautiful country estate is BT Calloway.
Yeah, hoi hoi.
Jordan Frost.
Yo.
Claire R.
Hello.
And Danny Rosewell.
I'm Danny Rosewell.
Who broke Danny? Oh, okay. Claire, why did you do that?
No, that's just how he spoke to me this morning, and now he's stuck this way.
I see.
Is
The
that
wind's
his
changed and yeah.
Is that his morning voice? You know how some people have a different, morning voice?
Yeah, I was like, oh, Dan, can you get the light? Oh, sure, I can, Claire.
You know how some people have a sexy, gravelly kind of morning voice? Well,
Yeah.
it's not quite the same.
I mean,
but,
I'm erect, so.
I'm a wreck.
Oh my
Zing.
goodness. So this is a little bit of a different podcast today. You probably already saw from the title, but we're digging into the Simpsons origins, where they first began, the start, the inception. We are watching the Simpsons Tracy Ullman shorts, and honestly, folks at home, I'm kind of winging this. I don't know exactly. This is very much outside of our regular format.
But it will be better than Wolverine Origins and Inception.
Origin story. Origin story. Find out where Bart gets his powers.
Oh, finally.
So yeah, the one thing I do have in mind is to basically structure this as a watch-along. I'll include the YouTube link in the description where it's a playlist of all these shorts that you can just watch along with this podcast if you like. There will be the classic bonus scenes and breaking up each of the reviews. And yeah, I guess that covers
Look out
it.
for that sound.
Can it just be you making that sound, please? Ooh, in
Well, all of
harmony.
us harmonizing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Nice. Beautiful.
Good Selma impression. Good work.
All right, so we'll watch the first one. We'll be back. All right, well, that was the first sketch, Goodnight. People probably remember this one from the 138th episode Spectacular. Thoughts?
This was our introduction to The Simpsons, was it?
The first ever Simpsons ever.
I mean, it says everyone's name, I suppose. That's handy.
Yeah.
Do
And
they?
It is
I
like
mean, except for Captain Wacky and Marge.
it
but
goes
still.
character by character and
Yeah.
shows us a little bit about everybody, you know?
And the Bart's true fear is existential crises. Jordan, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, no, it was just the things I picked up in this watch as opposed to the 138th where I'm like, it's good. It's not great, but it's fine. Yeah, just some weird things that I noticed. They seem to have swapped Lisa and Bart's personality between this and the rest of the series.
Yeah, Bart having an existential crisis versus Lisa being scared
Afraid
of
of bed
bed
bugs.
bugs.
Yeah.
Those fictional little things.
Did anyone else just as it finished, just picture Troy McClure's face?
Oh, yeah. They haven't changed a
the
bit,
hell
have they?
There was a lot of eyeball play in this.
Yeah.
I hope
The
that
Maggie's
doesn't awaken
eyes.
anything in me.
And Bart's pupils just...
Yeah.
Look, I actually really like this. I've always enjoyed it. I think it's quite clever and funny, considering if this was the first thing you ever saw, it wouldn't give you all that much. But I like how the kids react to Homer and Marge's good parenting. And I love that they point out how freaking weird that lullaby is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a different format, just set up and punchline, you know?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of a newspaper comic strip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess because it was only 15-second little
You have
slots,
time
they
for your
had
one
to.
gag.
Yeah. Although I have a question for all of my fellow panelists. What do you think the mind is? It is just a system of impulses, or is it something more tangible?
Impulses. When those impulses cease, you cease to exist. So where you go when you sleep, no one really knows. It's possibly the reason we continue to dream, so that your impulses don't stop. Because should they ever, you will lose all identity.
But are those impulses something tangible, like an electronics, sister? I forget it. I'm not.
Much like my favorite Nirvana album, Nevermind.
Sorry, I really would have liked if you'd said, like my favorite Nirvana album, Bleach.
Well, this isn't really related to the podcast, but I remember having my mind blown the other day when somebody was just like, your brain is not you, because your brain will give you thoughts that you don't want to have, or your brain thinks things that you don't agree with, and you're like, oh, I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's really your own personal antagonist.
Well, look at this. For a comedy sketch, it's made us into deep philosophical thinkers.
That's true. Can I just say a couple of other observations that I made was that Maggie is much smarter than a regular baby because she understands the English that Marge is saying and thinks about the implications of that in her brain.
Well, it's kind of weird, all these nursery rhymes we used to sing and how horrible a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Yep. Ring Around the Rosie.
Mama's going to buy you a mockingbird.
What is it?
If that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's going to wring its little neck.
What? What?
I think you got sung a different version of that.
Or Mary Quite Contrary is pretty fucked up.
Mary Quite Contrary.
How your flowers grow.
Garden Grow, which was meant to be all the people Queen Mary had killed.
Oh, God.
And silver bells and were like thumb screws. Cockle shells are exactly what you're picturing in a torture chamber. And Pretty Maids was a nickname for a guillotine.
Jesus Christ.
All
Okay,
in a
so
row.
we want to move on to the rankings, but Jordan, what else have you got?
Oh, yeah. I just noticed that Homer wears a collared shirt to bed
Yeah, I know.
as
Weird.
well. That's also very strange.
All right, BT, what are you ranking this thing?
I'll give it a silver.
Jordan.
I haven't seen the rest of the Ullman shot, so I don't have anything really to compare it to, but I think, I don't know, because it's a classic. You have to give it a gold, I think.
You have to.
I mean, it's not funny. It's like the first ever thing. So I think you have to give it at least a gold.
Was it late 80s funny?
Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, look at the stuff that was considered funny back in, I mean...
Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah, have you ever tried watching like Family Ties or anything late? It's not good.
I'll stand by Perfect Strangers, man.
Stand.
So good.
Oh!
Sorry, Claire?
Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to rate it a cubic zirconia. I think you need to see it. It's the first one. If you're a Simpsons fan, you need to watch the absolute first Simpsons ever.
Actually, that's good. Can I change mine to cubic zirconia
No,
too?
fuck off.
Shag?
I'm going to give it a bronze. That's a positive ranking. It's not a participant or a failure. I think it's stucketed. I think it's stucketed on the nursery rhyme for like slightly longer than it needed to. It felt like a pacing thing. Didn't make me happy. I didn't like the whip sound when they all scoot under the blanket. That felt like outdated, like Hanna-Barbera sort of comic writing.
I think that's a common thing that we'll see with these shorts is that they are very like rubber bandy animation.
Yeah.
I was just like thinking, well, how can we say it's outdated when we're watching it like, 30 years after it was first
Yeah, The Simpsons.
put out? That doesn't count. We can't insult it on that level.
37, 38 years probably.
No, but I mean, yeah, I think we're judging it on its own merit here using the system that we've devised for The Simpsons. Like, it's a very obviously different format, but yeah. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying there?
Well, I don't think it is essential. I don't think that watching season 6 or season 17 is going to be a worse experience if you haven't seen this one.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going with a silver, and I thought I was going high on that one because my nostalgia for it appearing in the 138 maybe playing a bit of a part in it, but I do like how it is telling this story with the kids, and there is a little arc there, and it's nice and cute. Like
The mind
but
matter
it's
joke's pretty funny.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, watching Bart get very introspective is interesting. But yeah, it's also a little slow. Like, I really felt every second of that 1.5 minute there. All right. Well, that's that one. We'll move on.
Woo!
Okay, so number 2, watching TV. Thoughts?
There's a problem right at the end where, Homer's making this big thing about, we're a family sitting together, exchanging thoughts and ideas. And then Bart's like, Dad, you can shut up now. The commercial's over. The program's back on. You just need one or the other. You don't need to say commercial's over and program's back on. One implies the other. Failure.
Jesus, that was quick. I think that's the other thing.
Bronze.
That's the other thing I think we've got to consider is that these sketches were meant to bookend commercial breaks. So the start of the sketch would be out of the Tracy Ullman show. The end of the sketch would be coming in from the act break.
Well, look, it's obviously all centered around like the TV and the role that it plays within the family, which is fine. But I was actually really confused with the Bart-Lisa dynamic and the idea that they fight like cats and dogs during their commercial breaks.
You're an only child.
Yeah, I am. But like, it shocked me. I'm like, wait, what are they fighting? I felt like I'd missed out on something, and it took a couple of like...
Well, what was the joke?
Guess they'll fight during the ad breaks, but there's peace when there's television.
Yeah.
But no, then it was like Maggie changed the channel that they wanted changed, and then they yelled at her.
Guess the point was the argument, not to change the channel.
Yeah, like, I got what they were saying by the end of it, but it wasn't funny for me. And man, Lisa is really annoying in the early ones.
And Homer is just a weirdo.
He's so soft, isn't
Frosted
he?
chocolate milkshake.
I mean, it's not even like family. He's like an alien in a human's body. Like, yes, here we are, bonding as a family, like humans do. Like, what
I like
are you
that as
going
an
on
idea,
about?
because that even ties to the last one. It's like, well, here we are sleeping in bed. Aren't we the best parents ever?
Is this what Homer does? He just says what's happening all the time?
Yeah, because he's an alien who's just trying to understand.
Yeah.
Homer is a god, but he started out as an alien.
No, he's a god who's trying to understand what it's like to be a flesh person. We figured it out.
Oh, he's like a demigod. Yeah, he's got got most of it, but he just doesn't understand the intricacies of humanity.
Because even season 1, we start to see the Homer to come, but he's still very much that frosty chocolate milkshakes.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe he's playing down his intelligence later on as well.
Maybe as well, the further he gets away from his, heaven, whatever that may be, the more stupid he becomes. So the longer he spends on Earth and
the more television he absorbs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Jesus because he gets his health from sunshine, right?
No, that was 4.
Exactly that.
Yeah, when they threw, when Jesus died and they threw his body into the sun and he recharged completely and came back.
And then he was fighting Satan, and Satan's all like, "Save Martha!" Yeah.
And Jesus is like, why'd you say that name? Interesting. Rankings, thoughts, BT?
I mean, a bronze, it's okay, but I feel like there's less of a story and less of a character development thing. This is just about kids being kids and squabbling with a TV on.
What you got, Jods?
I think this one's a participant for me. I feel like a lot of these might be because I haven't seen them before, so there's no nostalgia, and I just get to go, that was a thing that was created. So yeah, I think this one's participant. It's not great.
For a second, was Bart kind of New Yorkie, and he's like, "Hey, we were watching that over here."
Nice.
What you doing, Mags?
Was that just my imagination?
Probably.
Anyway, Claire.
Look, I'm going to have a really hard time ranking these, so I think I'm just going to wild card it and say this was a failure. I didn't like it. I mean, what tipped me over was Homer's pink pants. I'm like, what is going on?
With his purple shirt as well.
Yeah.
I will also just caveat that these aren't the best downloads, rips and stuff. The Simpsons haven't
Legally
actually been able to make these officially available because of the
Tracy
licensing
Ullman
with
won't let go of them?
Tracy. Yeah, so...
Oh, I was kidding. Okay.
Legally purchased.
She won't release them for
It's complicated because
Okay.
it's tied up with the network as well.
Oh, that's so
Because
stupid.
Comedy Central owns Tracy Ullman now. So whatever. Danny.
I'm sort of sitting between a participant and a bronze. Bronze. It's less of a coherent narrative storyline, but I can see the flavor of opening, closing, and ad break structure here. It does feel like a cartoon intro outro sequence. It seems like the precursor to the couch gag, which I can't particularly say I like, but that's historic. That's a historic part of The Simpsons lore.
That's how it's pronounced.
And I'm going a failure as well.
Ooh.
I totally see what you're saying, Beach, about the whole it's kids fighting thing, but I just still didn't feel like there was a solid joke there. And that part 1 and part 2 had nothing to do with each other, and it was just
What
it
they
felt
had
weird.
to do with each other was that they were watching the ads while we were watching the ads. It was one of those
Sure.
making jokes about, oh, look, we're just like you. Ho, ho, ho.
All right, next one.
Please.
Number 3, Jumping Bart. Thoughts?
Yeah, see, I bet the people who failed last one wishes they hadn't failed that one so they could fail this one. Because now you have no basement. This failed. This was so boring and stupid. And what we have here is a failure to communicate. And it's such a done joke of leap into my arms. Oh, what? I got temporarily distracted.
It's the same joke for 3 times,
Was it
3 and a
only
half
th-
times.
Was it
Yeah.
only 3? I thought it was
Well,
like
it's
12.
4.
Well, the first one is Bart's fault. The next 3 are all Homer.
You know what? The parent is in the position of authority there. It's all Homer's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been standing a lot closer to the table,
Well,
obviously.
I would like to fail this one for realsies, Elliot.
All right. I didn't mind this one. As far as sketch cartoon dumbness, it was cute and dumb, and I kind of like the whole, leapt. It was a little bit drawn out, but I liked the joke.
Yeah, look, I'm with Elliot. It took way too many bites of the apple, but if you got 2 before a commercial and 2 after, I think it would be fine. The only part that made me go, what? This makes no sense, is where he's just like, since you've been afraid of falling, I'm going to make you jump. I'm like, no, that's weird. But all the other gags, they were fine.
It's exposure therapy.
Yeah.
He's just saying, you need to get used to it.
Yeah,
You shouldn't be afraid of falling on your head.
yeah, that's normal.
You shouldn't be afraid of jumping off high places.
You should be afraid of having podcasts with people with the wrong opinions. You just have to get used to it.
What you got, Danny?
I think I'm going to go with a bronze again. I agree that it's not very funny, and it is the same joke 4 times, so I don't know why I'm giving it a bronze.
Honest, the Wild Cup.
Again, don't know how I'm structuring this, so yeah, I'm ranking it now too. Yeah, I'm going with a bronze because it was cute and dumb and funny, and I don't know, but not funny enough to get any higher.
I like when someone said you have 2 of the same joke before the commercial and you come back and they're still doing the shitty joke. I think that's funny. It's like the joke where you cut away and you come back and they're still falling off a log.
I think Homer, I liked the verbal aspect of the humor. That was fine. It was just watching him twitch and move and squirm like constantly that really just put me off, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was briefly like Dr. Katz. Remember that show?
Oh, yeah, the squiggle vision.
So what about you two? What are you ranking it?
I'm going to go participant again.
And I'm going to go for a bronze.
Bart's eyes keep popping out of his head each time he hits the ground.
That's actually, that's one part that I really liked is I think it was the second time he fell, his eyes like jumped out of his head. Amazing.
The last one where he lands directly on top of his 9 little Barty spikes. Like, ugh.
His 9 little Barty spikes?
Yeah.
His little buddy boys.
No, that's his testicles, which are the size of oranges.
His 9 little Barty boys.
All right, we'll be back. Number 4, Babysitting Maggie. Thoughts?
We find out Maggie gets high by falling downstairs.
And that baby can run.
I know. I do really like a run, fall kind of thing. I remember
Yeah.
that being a much more prominent thing in The Simpsons than what I've really observed on this critical watch through on The Simpsons Index. Like and subscribe.
I was about to say, that's one of the most through lines from the entire series. One of the most iconic bits is Maggie will always fall on her little like dress onesie thing.
Yep, the one constant.
Well, I wasn't really sure what to make of this until it sort of tied it up at the end that they were poking fun at the fact that like this baby can fall down the stairs and fall off a roof and basically do all this stuff and be totally fine. But as soon as like the butterfly flies away, she has a cry about it. So I liked that they had a cohesive storyline that tied up really like quite neatly compared to the last one.
It was poignant.
It's odd. I've only just sort of realized in the course of the show, I don't think we've ever heard Maggie cry like that.
Yeah, that was baby cry. That wasn't like a voice actor cry. That was a baby.
They brought in a baby to the studio and just flicked it in the eye.
Wow.
Hey, you want a performance?
I was wondering whether like this was one of the kind of first moments where it was like alternative like cartoon, because I don't think you would have seen a cartoon where kids were telling each other to shut up on TV until maybe
Bart,
this
like,
point.
I'll show you what for, Lisa, if you don't
Straight
shut
to
your
the
trap.
moon. Yeah, that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that was fucked.
That was real, though.
It was surprising. It really threw me.
Rankings.
I'm going to bronze. So
I'm going to silver.
can I also add the caveat? I'll go up to a silver if I can also get high if I throw myself down the stairs. So until this cartoon is proven true or not.
Damn this house and its only
I
single
know.
rule.
Well, actually, I did remember something that like babies do get themselves high by like banging their head on their like cot bars
Wow,
sometimes.
babies, what is wrong with you?
My niece actually, she goes to sleep like. Have you seen the Bob's Burgers where Tina's like, and this is where I thrash?
Oh, yeah.
My niece does that, except she like intentionally hits her head against the mattress
Wow.
for like 20 minutes as she goes to sleep.
Wow. Does she have her arms by her side like a tuner as well?
Yeah.
Does she say there is only Pazuzu? Or like anything? Because that sounds like you might need an old priest and a young priest.
And all we've got are these medium-aged priests.
Danny.
I'm going to give this one a bronze as well. It wasn't really complicated, but I really enjoyed the pacing of her falling over when she was running along the roof. I really enjoyed watching her fall off the roof.
Whoa. Okay.
I really did. I thought they were going to pull their punches and they weren't going to do it, and it surprised me that they went through with it. You know, I'm glad she didn't get hurt at the bottom, but that was thrilling cinema.
I don't know. I'm giving it a participant. It was just kind of whatever. Like, I'm not giving it a failure because the Maggie stuff is kind of cute, but like, I didn't really find it entertaining.
I'm going to go bronze as well. It was fine. It was okay.
Don't look at me just being a sour puss. All right, next one.
Weird. Can I be the first to say weird?
Yeah.
After I say number 5, the pacifier. Thoughts?
Weird.
Bart and Lisa discovered their kink.
And Maggie discovers a love of Tabasco.
Yeah, well.
I think that was the only part of this that I actually liked.
Yeah.
That, you know, when they were trying to poison her with Tabasco sauce, she actually really enjoyed it and like put it back in for a second dip. But the rest of this was really unpleasant to watch. Like Lisa and Bart are fucking assholes.
Oh,
They're awful.
It's okay. You can say fucking. It's fine.
What? When they called her a depraved little infant, I'm like, you seem like you're projecting. Like, what can an infant possibly do? What are you talking about?
What depravity is this?
Look at you wallowing in your own filth. Some kind of diaper.
why haven't they followed her up to her room? Like, she clearly leaves the scene and comes back with a pacifier.
Yeah, having a drawer full. Like, and she has that weird, stretchy, rubbery arm that like grows 2 times its length as it plucks it out from the drawer. She's a strange child.
It's kind of like a precursor to that gag where Marge has a whole drawer full of pearls.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's similar to that. And also, it reminded me of the drawer of pacifiers and that,
Yeah.
the one where she's at daycare.
babysitting.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
right, yeah.
Buggy, bouncy, bumper, baby, bumble,
No.
bimble.
Dun, dun, dun,
It's the Great Escape
dun,
one, yeah.
Dun, dun.
Streetcar named Marge. Yeah, I didn't really like that one. But
Nah.
yeah, I totally agree
it
with
does-
Claire's thoughts. Participant. Sorry.
It does kind of prove that Maggie was maybe the first and only real solidified character so far in this.
Yeah,
Even as
suppose.
Yeah,
because
that's
she's
true.
got all her things: the pacifier, the falling down constantly, the being adorable. It's all there for the
Way
show.
smarter than
Smart
she-
before, smarter than he is.
And also a, sophisticated palate. She appreciates the spicy things.
Yeah,
Any other rankings?
participant.
Yeah, participant, because I did not like their weird, hypnotic, drugged eyes when they started
Yeah, it
sucking
was very
on
much
pacifiers too.
Marge getting these things?
Yeah.
Are these actually those fentanyl lollipops?
Oh, God, I
No,
hope
it's like
not.
in Requiem for a Dream, where you have the drugs and it follows the same sequence of shots.
In this scenario, since it was the baby, shouldn't Marge be crawling up the walls and spinning her head around?
Jeez Louise.
Oh.
That's train spotting.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Claire Shag, I'm missing your rankings.
I'll go participant 2. It was almost a failure for me, but yeah, those couple of moments with Maggie was like, okay, those are cute.
Yeah, this and the last one were essentially the same for me for those exact reasons.
I'm going to stick on bronze. I'm riding that bronze. I thought it was fun.
Riding
Yeah.
that brown train.
You know what? While I'm... Damn. While I'm
I
here...
meant to say bronze in that moment.
Is that heroin?
you?
Or
I don't know.
Also heroin.
Well, no, if you're riding a brown train, then surely that's not
Yes.
an ass.
Good Lord.
I know.
maybe it's metaphorical.
Let's-
Let's just keep moving on, hey?
Okay, while I've got your attention, I'd like to retroactively change an earlier ranking. Can I drop the one with the fighting in front of the TV? Can I drop that to participant?
Oh, okay, sure.
Thanks, man.
You've seen some true bronze, and you knew that didn't.
It doesn't hold up. And now that I'm getting a more clear picture of what it is to be a Tracy Ullman short,
Sure. Anyone else want to retroactively?
Never!
Yep. On to the next one.
Be right the first time. It's easy.
Damn, I should have tried that.
Not everyone can be Beach. Some people have to pull up Jordan.
I mean, that's the thing. We'll always wet Jordan up if we have to.
Number 6, Burping Contest. Thoughts?
I'm starting to think that in the Simpsons pantheon, Lisa may be Loki. Because there's a bit where Marge is like,
Okay.
burping, it's crude, it's vulgar, it's nauseating. And she's like, that's what I said, it's fun.
Yes.
With this very
yes.
manic look, it was terrifying.
They really met my expectations because for the whole thing, I'm like, oh, I'm expecting Homer to show up and burp at some point, and then right at the end, they just pulled it out and it was worth it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, but this one seemed a lot longer than the other one.
I
It
agree.
was huge.
This was really long. Look, I didn't hate it, but all I could think of was in the beginning, it was like Bart and Lisa were twins and they were like almost the same little character
Yeah.
and there's no split there and they're often just playing off each other doing the same thing. So that was just interesting.
Creepy twins.
Oh yeah, they're weirdos. They're complete
Definitely
weirdos.
creepy twins.
And I don't know, I didn't mind it, but I just felt like it went on too long.
Yeah, they kind of hit the setup about 3 times, and the payoff really wasn't worth it. And
No.
and I love burping humor. I do not think it is vulgar, crude, or nauseating.
But for something centered around burps, they didn't really have very good recordings of burping.
Right?
No.
They were all pretty average, and Bart's like, the champion, and then Maggie burps like, new champion. It's like, that was pretty much the same.
To me, that was a better punchline than the Homer one.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
A part of my friends.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought I was hoping that was going to be Marge that would let a little one out or be like, all right, what's so fun about this? And I thought she was going to have one be like, oh, that is kind of fun. But that's obviously later Marge. This is still disciplinarian Marge. I
Yeah,
suppose.
later Marge farted once.
My God.
Later Marge
How crude.
pretends she doesn't think bosom is funny, but she does.
What I did
Bosom.
like about this is the little animation of Bart trying to hold the burp in
Oh,
and
yeah.
the little bubbles coming out of his ears and stuff. Yeah, that was cute.
Yep.
I didn't like all of the front-on faces that I saw in this.
There was a lot.
And they were very creepy, especially it was Lisa's 3/4 face, and it was she looked manic. She did not appear well at all.
So funny, the old style of animation directly influencing this one, all the ripples in their lips as they're burping as well.
Yeah.
And, this is what I find charming about it, basically.
Part of this was it felt almost like David Lynch inspired it because it was just kind of, I love mom, but
Yeah, that kind of weird
and
pause.
there's pauses and everything, and then like Bart burps, and there's a pause, and then Lisa and Maggie just start clapping randomly. and
Is
you're
it
like,
poor
what?
pacing,
This
or is it like purposefully unsettling?
kind of
Yeah.
surrealistic? Yeah.
It kind of coming full circle around to that. I am Simpson.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I know you won't disappoint me. That line hit me weird.
Marge's character in this really grated on me, I think. She
Yeah,
was
same.
very cold, hard ass. She was militaristic.
Burping.
How dare you?
Uncouth.
Yeah, she didn't take their soda from them or anything.
Yeah, but she had this just like angry look. Like, I hate these children. There was no love in her eyes.
Yeah, but
First I
I kind
birthed
of
you,
hate
now
these
you're
children
burping.
too.
These creepy twins.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to rank this thing? I'm going to give it a bronze. It would have gotten a silver, but I think I hit the same setup too many times.
I'm on a Pacifier bronze. I don't like their effects on burping, but I do like some of the animation quirks. So I will be kind and say bronze, I suppose.
Next.
I don't like it though.
Yeah, I was actually going to go for bronze as well. It wasn't overall bad, but it just went on way too long considering how short it is.
Danny, riding the train?
Yeah, I'm staying on the bronze train. I also wanted to point out that Lisa's hair really looked like she'd been hit with a makeup shotgun or something. It was really in your face, like she had a bomb go off in a cartoon. I didn't quite like it, but I thought it was interesting. Also wanted to quickly mention the isometric camera of the room really upset me for some reason. Like having the corner center stage and the door left and door right was...
Yeah, it's really interesting because, you know, we talk all the time about the floppy geography of the Simpsons household in the series main, but here where they just haven't figured it out at all.
Yeah.
It's just there's an empty room somewhere
Yeah.
in their house. That's all there is.
There's nothing in this room except two doors right next to each other.
Sorry to butt in, but there was one thing that I did really notice, and maybe I missed it in the previous ones, but Marge's outfit was finally really Marge-like. Like she had the green dress, because the previous early ones, she was kind of wearing like pink, or, you know, it wasn't quite solidified, but now she was much more recognizable, and her hair was much more blue, I felt, as well.
Fashion corner.
Wink.
Wink.
Nice.
Jordan, what's your
Nice.
rank?
I think I'm going to go bronze as well. Like it's fine. It's
Unanimous
interesting.
bronze.
That B train.
We're all on the train with Danny today.
Well, it's the place to be. It's the place, the brown train.
Cool. Next
B
one.
train. You got to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there. Huh.
All right, number 7, and this is the Simpsons short season 1 finale. Dinnertime.
What a climax.
There is so many strange things going on in this.
Yeah, the food for starters.
Yeah, the food moving at the start by
man.
itself.
What
Very
had-
weird.
in the
Pink
name
jelly
of
for dinner?
purple fuck are they eating?
Yeah.
It's mashed beetroot and potato, I guess. I don't know.
And it
Best case scenario.
It bounces, and then later on, it's like, oh, don't slurp your soup. It's like, that's soup?
Oh,
Yeah.
but then the scene after that, they're chewing it.
And it's like they're
It's like
taking up the
stuffed out of their mouths.
They're holding it in their mouth, and it looks like they're holding like a mini brain in their mouth, each of them. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm laughing at this one not for any of the things that the sketch was trying to do, but just for the horrifying animation of it all.
Did you also notice the magic painting in the background?
No?
Okay, so it's of a volcano, I think, exploding, but in the 3 different scenes, it's just a volcano, and then in the middle one, the volcano is erupting, and then in the last one, I think it's empty and like dormant.
Maybe they cycle out their paintings.
In the course of dinner?
Yeah.
3 times?
Oh, I thought this was implying this was like 3 different dinners.
Oh, man.
That would make
Because
sense.
they finished one, and then in the next scene, that's when they had brain mouth.
No,
yeah.
morphing food,
So the
some
next night
kind
they
of-
had
But they eat
soup.
the same thing. Like, it's the
Yeah.
same thing in all 3. It just has different, like, texture to it.
What is dinner? Is it like a tangible thing, or is it...
What is
Is,
Is
these,
it
is
pulses?
these Marge's Sundays?
Oh.
Because if so, I know no one wants to eat them.
Oh.
It's a system of pulses.
And Marge was cross-eyed for most of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Her voice was getting much more marged out, though.
But her personality.
No, man, she's all no burping, no slurping. Man, she's like a Dr. Seuss book.
She fucking like crit rolled on dexterity though, but to like throw the thing onto the table, 5 perfect clumps fall
Yeah.
out right into the bowl. Like
Clumps
that's
of
amazing.
what?
Yeah. Clumps is
Pulses.
a terrible word to describe your dinner. Can
Another
I get another clump,
dear?
please?
Yeah, I do not want my food served in units of measurements known as clumps.
Clumps, come get your clumps. Hot clumps here.
Oysters, clams, and
Clumps.
Look, I actually liked Marge in this one, and I know you said like her personality's all over the place, but I was starting to get the feeling of like in that first part where she's like, "Come on, hot dinner, delicious food, get your butts down here."
No dessert until you finish
Yeah,
your
I like that. I liked
pulse
her.
food.
Yep.
Look, I was going to fail it, but I'm giving it a participant because I've really enjoyed this dissection of it. And for me, it's worth it, at least participating. Who wants to rank next?
I want a cubic failure. I think it's worth watching for just how weird it is.
It's so bizarre.
But the trouble is, that's not an official rank, so I'm going to go with a participant, I guess. But it's just so odd that I kind of love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a silver because it's in between a cubic and a failure. Good move. It is really strange. But I also noticed, and I wonder if we'll find out at some point, Homer hasn't got the MG hair ear combo yet. It's a lot of squiggles for the hair above his ears. I wonder at what point it like solidifies into the Matt Groening.
I will rank it a failure. The bottom line is I didn't like the joke part of this. The joke where she's like, this dinner, everyone be quiet, you're slurping too loud. This dinner, it's too quiet, someone talk. And then they're like, oh, I'll bring in the television. The comedy wasn't funny, but the attempt to be a realistic family, a traditional household, was horrifying and absurd, and I loved it.
I do really like the news recast, which is like, and a person was decapitated on a roller coaster today.
Yeah.
It's very Simpsons for that.
It's actually, I only noticed when Bart brought in the TV that they'd been eating Last Supper style that whole time.
Yeah. No one on the fourth wall of the table. Very strange. I did like the glow of the TV on there. That was a nice little effect that I was surprised in this
Oh, yeah?
low budget enterprise.
Yeah, I'm just going to wild card it again and say gold because I think everyone really should watch it. It's like it's pretty up there. This is amazing.
All right, just so we got 5 different rankings, I'm moving mine up to a bronze.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Good.
Because, people are going to see that on the spreadsheet and go, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
it makes
I
sense.
think it's
makes
worth
sense.
it. Yeah, watch this one. It's Lynchian feels right.
All right, on to season 2. What
What is going on?
do you mean?
Look at that picture of Homer.
It's American Gothic, yeah, but only
But without the Marge.
He's got a
I'm
1,000
ranking
yard
this as
stare
cubic
as well.
zirconia.
All right. Working under the theory that we weren't missing anything and that was the entirety of the sketch, whatever. Number 8, making faces. Thoughts?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuckers?
This is the Howler Monkey.
That was a great howler monkey.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not dissing the impression.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I think this was a really like a lot of fun animation.
Yeah.
I think the actual plot, again, Marge just popping in and out of an empty room. Like, why are you locking your children in this empty room with nothing to do?
It's the playroom.
With just a door and a picture of Homer with a fork.
Yeah, Homer with a pitchfork. Satan watches over them.
I don't think it was a pitchfork. I think it was just a big wooden fork.
It was in the foreground and Homer was in the background.
It's in the fork ground.
Ooh.
But like, yeah, no wonder they're bored off their minds having burping contests and making faces. There's nothing to do in this room that you lock them in and come in every so often like a prison guard.
All right, you're doing a wrong thing.
Open door,
And how
slam.
did she even
Closed
know?
door, slam.
Yeah.
Where is she watching them from?
She just hovering?
Watching them pulling faces.
Yeah, there was that weird, like, there's a Tom and Jerry, like, mouse hole in the,
Yes,
like, skirting
yes.
board. I think that maybe she, like,
You're saying
gets
the
down
mice-
on her, like, hands and knees and, like, watches them through that.
All the mice are snitches.
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
How did she get those fangs to protrude doing the howler monkey? I mean, that's incredible.
Stretchy teeth.
Kids, man.
You eat stretchy weird food, you get stretchy weird teeth.
Every time in this one that Marge pops through the door, her knees are clearly backwards. It's horrifying, but it kind of makes her look like the front half of a centaur, where the rest of her is off screen outside the door.
Got a very Coraline effect. For
Also, Homer's god Marge is a centaur.
Yeah.
I also noticed that, like, whenever Lisa is just standing, she's standing with her knees, like, bent constantly. It looks like she's surfing all the time. She's, like, on,
Yeah, I didn't think anything of this one, and the punchline is that Marge gaslights that was boring to me. Like, I'm giving it a failure.
Well,
I
it's weird.
don't understand the joke at the end because they're like, you see, your faces have stuck, but they can see each other's faces.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can see
surely
how
the joke
ugly
would have been
faces
in the
are.
mirror. That's what they're seeing, and they thought.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was
The
weird.
punchline should have been, you see, if the wind changes, your faces will be stuck ugly. And they're like, oh, that's why Mom looks like she does.
Ouch!
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be them going, oh God, we're ugly. Because when they look at themselves in the mirror,
We're
and go, oh no, it happened. But what are they talking about? Don't they know what they look like?
Why, they've probably never even seen themselves in the mirror.
Anyone else want to rank this thing?
Man, my big problem also is, like I said on the first one, they kind of double down on that joke where, they're all pulling faces, then Marge comes in with this angry face and they go, scary! It's like, yeah, no, I know, I got it, thank you, don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Participant, I kind of like the animations though, but I'm going to have to go participant.
I was going to say participant too. Like the animation, weird animation is the only thing that pulls it up from failure.
The Howler Monkey.
Howler Monkey.
Oh, do I want to bump up to a
Dad.
part? Yeah, look, I'm bumping up to a part for the Howler Monkey because that was genuinely a funny, surprising moment for me.
I'm going to say participant as well, but also want to mention that Maggie's getting a lot more speaking roles in this. She clearly said, no, check me out. Check this face out.
You bitches ain't got nothing.
Yeah, boys.
Claire.
I don't know. Like,
It's a tough one.
It wasn't good,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a failure to me. I don't know. Like, you know what? I'm going to be generous. I'm going to go with bronze. Yeah.
There we go. Nice little bronze there to
Little
shine up that pot. It's I'm going English accents, is I not?
Are these supposed to be funny?
I don't get it.
Number 9, the funeral. Thoughts?
I have an Uncle Hubert whose side.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out where does he fit in.
Hubert.
Hold on, let me look up
Herbert.
Wiki Simpsons. One sec.
Elderly Uncle Hugh? Maybe that's implying a granduncle
yeah,
or something.
maybe Grandpa's
Yeah, because
brother.
he did look like Grandpa Simpson. Like there was a grandpa-ish quality to his face.
I think the joke here was just Bart's morbidity. And maybe in the context of the 80s, you weren't quite used to kids being so outwardly morbid like that.
Yeah, I guess. And, I'm sure there's a weird, morbid curiosity going to an open cask funeral for the first time and being like, can actually see a dead body. Ooh.
What did they get in trouble for? Was it for
Yeah,
Bart
that was
running?
my
just
big
Bart.
problem. Like, they were all like, we're so disappointed in the three of you. And it's like, what did Lisa and Maggie do? Absolutely nothing.
Well, maybe there was other stuff off screen, but also
if it's off screen, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hubert is suggested to be the oldest brother of Abe, of the 6 or 7 brothers that they have.
Oh, didn't see those brothers in the head of the Statue of Liberty.
Hubert.
There's Abraham, Tyrone, Cyrus, Chet, Fester, and Bill
What?
Simpson.
Wait.
All
And
right,
sister
okay, because that's the Simpsons wiki fandom, and they're pulling that from the Simpsons official
Extended
family
universe.
family album where they had family trees for both Homer and Marge in the beginning and the end of the book. Did any of you guys have that one?
Yeah, I think I did when I was little.
Can I just read this trivia thing real quick? He has the honor of being the first of many characters to die in The Simpsons.
What
Okay.
an honor.
The first of many.
death.
Hey, Beach.
Hey, our
Yes.
friend Sean Flell, death tally 1.
Top of your head, how many of Abe's brothers' names do you remember?
There
Tyrone.
was Cecil and Tyrone and Egbert and Nigel Harris and
Fester.
There was Fester. I remember Fester.
Guinness Punch.
Tyrone. Hubert, of course, and Herbert because of... Hubert and Herbert?
and-
Seriously?
Hethbert as well.
No, wait. Herbert's the son.
Yeah, Herbert's Abe's bastard son.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Like the George song.
He named it after his past brother.
Named
he
him
couldn't
after
have. I got
Hubert,
that time
but spelled him wrong.
wrong.
It wasn't funny, right?
No.
Yeah, no, the other one seemed too long. This one seems too short. Like they could have done a little more to make it, funny
Yeah.
at the end or round out like more kids shenanigans or something.
See, when we criticize sort of plot holes in the new ones, it's like, I can forgive them a little because you got 20 minutes of entertainment to write. But
Yeah.
this one,
Yeah.
you had 2 minutes. And Lisa and Maggie did nothing. Bart did everything. Then all the children were naughty. This is dumb. I'm failing it, by the way.
Also, Marge and Homer were really creepy looking in that car. Like he was muttering. Like they weren't just like a little bit annoyed. They were furious.
Fucking pissed.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And this is like the first one, I guess, where they go outside
That's
the
what
house.
I was gonna say.
And they at least,
okay.
they do decorate the set of the funeral home nicely. Like it does. It isn't just bare walls of. There's a weird portrait of some guy who kind of looks like a Muppet on the wall.
Yep.
It was
And
very
we get a
strange.
cemetery, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Sets.
Yeah.
Where all of the tombstones just say R.I.P. or rest in peace.
Just a lot of guys named Rip.
Yeah. Richard Ian
Rip Torn
Perkins.
died in this one too.
And all of his brothers who were also named Rip.
Unoriginal parents.
They all had different surnames.
Rankings.
This one just so heavily nothing. But yeah, I'm going to fail as well. I was just confused. And when I wasn't confused, I was bored. That's bad.
Failure, like Marge forgetting to take her veil off after she's already on the way home.
Yeah, I'm going to say failure as well.
I sort of want to say participant.
You can. You're allowed.
Ain't no one going to beat you up later for it.
maybe I should say failure. Participant, I'm happy that they are getting out of the set. I thought that was really about time, and it's really kind of fleshing it out as a storyline. The two kids had some back and forth. It wasn't amazing. If it wasn't for the fact that it sort of trickled out and went nowhere, which most of these do. They're short format, and they kind of do trickle out.
Yeah, and nice shinied up that failure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Participant for ambition. All right, we'll be back.
Look how polished that turd is. Elliot the fuck.
I didn't make it. Number 10, Maggie's brain thoughts.
Elliot the fuck.
I liked it. I actually liked it. Firstly, it was the first time that like Bart and Lisa were being nice to Maggie.
Yeah, that's a definite bonus.
I also really liked the joke of the fact that she only has 4 toes and they had to like circle back around to the first one.
They clearly cut away
Yeah.
and came back.
So I think that was good. And I just really liked that they were nice to her, even though they kept calling her it.
What?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Wonder what it's thinking. And it felt like they were hanging on that word too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
Oh no.
assume
Sorry,
it was...
I think I've broken this chair.
Jordan, that's the second thing you've broken today.
Ooh. Did you have something in your pocket that poked through that?
Or is your butt just that sharp? I mean,
Damn it, we've created evidence that we broke something in the Airbnb.
I would consider you more pH fat, but whatever.
You can't continue on that chair? It's just a little broken. It's still good. It's still good.
I know, but I don't want to break it even further. But I guess
Go grab another chair. Don't forget to take those off. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever seen Clerks 2, he almost just totally Elias'd then. Oh my God.
Can you just like get out?
Get out. So, Maggie's brain, yeah. The animation brought it a lot more up for me in this one. Like, I loved all the Maggie's perspective stuff.
Oh, it was.
oh yeah, like the freaks bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciated the reference, yeah.
Yeah.
They actually looked like, I don't know if you remember No Disgrace Like Home, where Homer's looking at his family after embarrassing him at Burns' party, and they're all like, yeah, Dad, come home. We're evil versions of your family.
Goblin versions. Yep.
Well, this is the second episode where Maggie's had hallucination, a dream view where we get to see through her perspective. And so far, she's the only character to have any sort of like imagination, or you get to see from her perspective at all, really. Sort of leads me to believe that she's us in this,
All right.
like in
We
Rugrats,
are
where
the baby.
yeah, she's the Rugrats of the Chucky, the Charlie, the
Tommy,
why not? Let's go with Tommy.
who was also, his last name was Pickles.
What?
I don't know, Pickle Tommy.
Oh dear.
That was in deleted scenes.
Oh yeah, good point.
I thought it was strange the way that Maggie's in this like bassinet. But like from the top view, you can kind of see that she's just like squirming around. But the side view is just her arms and legs sticking straight up out of it, like squirming around like some kind
Like
of
an
like
upside down cockroach.
tentacle portal or something like that. It's really
Tentacle
off-putting.
portal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I did not like it. And also, coupled with that was when she's imagining like her in charge, and Bart and Lisa are kind of like begging, and I think it's like because she's tickling them,
Yeah.
but it's halfway between like laughing and like crying in
No,
terror
I
and
agree.
wailing. Yeah.
What I think made that more on the terror side is they give the whole scene this reverb that like really, even though it's meant to be kind of this cute, Maggie is just imagining what it'd be like to tickle them, and they seem to be kind of enjoying it, but then they put this kind of echoey reverb that's like very nightmarish, and like, what am I supposed to take away from that? I'm so confused.
Nah, honestly, that bit fucking reminded me of when my two older brothers would like pin me down and do the typewriter on my chest. And of course, it's tickling, so you're laughing, but it's also fucking hurting. And you're like,
Do the typewriter.
Stop.
Doot, 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 doot. Does anyone know what he meant by do the typewriter?
Not a clue.
Fair enough.
you use your knees to pin down your younger brother's arms like there, and you just do that on their chest.
Just poke them.
Just sounds painful, not ticklish.
Well, it's that painful ticklish. Here, lie down.
They also do that thing
okay.
where they like dangle a bit of spit and then pull it back up right at the last second.
You know when the orange juice is out,
you
you're
don't get
in
to
for
make that sound, Danny. You're the older brother.
Yeah, that was the fun memory.
it. You jerk. I'm going to give this one a silver. I actually quite enjoyed it, and the animation was cute.
The ideas were cute, but again, that reverb is going to haunt me forever. I'm going to imagine like large babies trying to tickle me while I plead for my life. Bronze, because of the nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I liked how off-putting it was. I'm going to go silver as well.
You Lynchian weirdo.
Yep.
Says
silver
the guy
for me
who's
too.
lying down ready for me to typewriter him. Anyway.
Yep. Silver for me too.
I'm going silver as well. I quite liked seeing Bart and Lisa get monstified. That's the first time we've seen that, but definitely not the last time. Stay tuned after this cartoon.
Okay, cool. And we'll be back. Oh, shit. I think I just snapped this chair too.
What is with you
Elliot?
sharp butt people?
You guys and your pointy, narrow heinies.
Very Very pointy, narrow.
Very pointy,
Heiny.
narrow, heiny.
Milkshakes. Dude, like last week I paid like $20 for a fucking milkshake.
I know how, like, and the Pulp Fiction one is so fucking outdated now.
Yeah.
Like,
$5.
$5 is a cheap-ass milkshake. Number 11, football. Thoughts?
Homer's
Wowie.
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Milkshake.
Hey.
I love that as an adult watching this, you're just like, that motherfucker could buy them chocolate milkshakes anytime he wanted. He's just torturing his child.
Why does Bart's success dictate the rest of the family's?
Oh god, that's a good
Why
question.
is there such like a gender imbalance
You
where
only-
Lisa's role is to dance at the sidelines?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's sort of the thing of all American football, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a
Look,
scathing
man,
indictment of.
You only make diamonds when you apply pressure. That's why. If he doesn't pressure Bart to do well, he's never going to become all he can be.
The American in you just comes out at the weirdest times, man.
I don't know what you're damn talking about there, Elliot. Now get out there and give me 20.
Fine.
dollars?
We'll go some barbecue ribs after.
Where is the Simpsons house in this?
Yes.
Again, geography's
Sorry,
very
Jordan,
weird.
did you want to talk?
Yeah, this is definitely the most
Oh, I just
cartoony
agree
one.
vehemently. Like, where the fuck are they? There's like weird cliffs. There's like chasms. What is going on?
Tree, post, brick wall.
Chasm, cliff.
Go to the arm on Homer, by the
I
way.
know, just
Yeah.
cannon.
Dude, is it gone? Did you see the little motion of him throwing in the first clip?
Yeah.
Also, like,
gorgeous.
yeah, how long is their yard? Like, they have got a long property. Like, it's not very wide, but it's fucking long because he can just like throw it 100 meters and Bart still misses.
Like your favorite Burt Reynolds movie that got remade with Adam Sandler. It's The Longest Yard.
Elliot, outside 20.
Fuck. Does that mean I'm up to 40 now?
Well, no.
Chop, chop, motherfucker.
60.
Dig.
Look,
No.
like the second time he threw it, to be fair, Bart did jump over a fence. So the implication is that it's in somebody else's
Yeah,
yard.
true.
But they definitely still back over not only a ditch, which looks like a chasm, and then a cliff face with some other dog roaming wild. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Him jumping over that dog was such like a cut and paste of
Yeah.
animtion
It was a
as
very
well.
Mario moment as well.
I gotta say, yeah, the animation, like, it looked like it was a dodgy rip from like a VHS that was
Yeah,
worn out,
yeah.
but also the animation looked significantly worse than the
That's
other ones.
what I think provided the best comedy in this one because there was like a tracking error.
Yeah.
At the start of the second, and all you heard was
Milkshake!
milkshakes. You're like,
I'm just pitching this ball.
It's such a weird
Milkshake.
act break to come back from. Like, can you imagine a regular Simpsons episode start a second act? Milkshakes!
I want to see it now.
also, Lisa's vocal delivery of good and slurpy. You're like,
See, this is another one like, fucking, what was that one we gave every ranking?
I know you kids like him slurpy.
Extra slurpy.
Yeah, dinner time, where, like,
Slurpy chocolate milkshakes.
he teased it as well. He went chocolate milkshakes to start, and then
Wait,
milkshakes, and then he finally said frosty chocolate milkshakes.
also, what the fuck? Like, is Homer blind? 'Cause he's like, why aren't you enjoying your milkshake, boy? And like the fucking, I'm like, is that ball gonna be still in his mouth? What is
Yep.
going on? Have you seen how big a proper American football?
Hard to
is?
fit in your
Very
mouth.
big, yeah.
And how small a general 10-year-old's head is.
His teeth are definitely knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's what I thought the joke was going to be. I'm like, this is dark. Is he in some sort of brace? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Look, it's kind of dumb, but I really enjoyed watching it. I'm going to give it a silver.
Yeah, I'm on a silver as well. It's a much more cartoony one, but I had fun with that, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for gold.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
I also am going for gold. It's starting to feel like a Simpsons episode.
I'm giving it gold as well, despite the obvious like reused animation of like Homer throwing the football is the exact same every time. But
Yeah.
I think that's
Yep.
why I'm actually bumping it
Yeah.
down to a silver, because it has this problem that I'm noticing is that there's like, too many setups and it's kind of going over the same thing.
But to be entirely fair with, act breaks.
Yeah, I
did
know.
this-
it's
yeah.
almost like, which cut of the joke do we use? What do you
Yeah.
mean? Just use all of them. Yeah.
Milkshake.
Milkshakes!
Can you just make that your sign-off line now? I know you've mustered in the house for the past.
Well,
you know,
this is a special, not a regular podcast, so
just
yeah.
shout the word milkshake.
Yeah.
Milkshakes!
Not all the milkshake in the house, just milkshakes! All right, we'll be back.
Hello there.
Number 12, House of Cards. What do we think?
I mean, see-
Speaking of Lynchian, like,
Yeah, this is way different to the Kevin Spacey version of that.
Amazing how they got 6 seasons out of just basing it
Yeah.
off a single sketch.
Very weird.
Depends how much you want to dissect it.
I like that we've talked about the blank room before,
Yeah,
but
I
now we
know.
get this strange top-down angle, and we see that it's about 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters with just portraits and a mouse hole.
Yeah,
That is it. That's the room.
It's
What
a social
the fuck?
distance room.
So bizarre. Like, what? They could have at least tried to decorate a bit or make it seem like a room
Well,
that
it
is
looks
used.
like they've added a table and a deck of cards, so...
Yeah. It's like a weird prison experiment. Like,
Or like the
this
plot
is-
device room. Only what you need for the plot is in there. And nothing else. So you like go in and there's an orange and a hamster. You're like, what am I supposed to do? Make a plot, damn it.
Make your own fun.
Do you ever see arched doorways in real life?
Yes.
In my house.
Yeah, in
Really?
play school.
It's
Oh, wait, that
not
was windows.
always like square top doorways?
Well, not a doorway, but it's like a passageway.
How long do you think Bart has been trapped in that room for him to be so good at building houses of
he
cards?
progressively got better as well. So.
Marge is clearly running a prison there, so...
Also, Lisa is a massive bitch.
Oh,
What a bitch!
I loved that fucking trolly sisterly... You gotta learn to take our advice. It's so good.
Again, Maggie talked as well, but like I was with you, Beej. Like I think the first one, like, oh, nice job, Bart, a pile of cards. Like that was like, oh, you little bitch.
You saw it. You know you did.
But yeah, I'm with Elliot as well because I did like that second part where she's just talking through it. Whatever you do, don't get jittery. You're too tense. Relax. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, when someone's over your shoulder and you're clearly struggling with video game, it's like, have you tried being better?
Yeah, I yelled at you from the other room the other day.
Oh, that pissed me off so much. I was playing Last of Us 2 and just, one of the big, like, pulsy ones, zombies that throw slime bombs at you and make cloud of and I was having a fucking time and B just like, do better.
Yeah, from the other room because I just heard what I was pretty sure was a death animation.
The rankings, I'm going to go a bronze. I don't think it was particularly entertaining, but, the elements I liked enough. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go bronze as well. Felt like kids being kids.
I'm going silver. I actually enjoyed this one. Like I'd say it was the first one I really had fun watching. I also thought, wow, man, when Bart gets knocked out, I legit thought he was dead. He really looked fucked up.
I actually thought that Lisa leant over him and went, Bart, you're dead. And then I realized she said, you did it. But, it was much funnier.
Bart, you dead?
Well, yeah, when she was screaming to her, I thought it was like, oh my God, Bart, I've killed Bart.
Yeah.
But it was just more of a triumphant thing, which means I'm going to make it a bronze.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I'm going to go with a silver.
all right.
Shiny little bronzy boy.
Number 13, Bart and Dad eat dinner.
Wow.
Nuggified fish porklets.
Fish nuggets and porkeroni.
There is so much to talk about in this one.
Talk about your Lynchian nightmares.
This is God. Hey,
wow.
what's my favorite bit? Homer standing still. Bart. Bart. Here I am. Just like rolling out from behind the couch. What?
Here I am.
They get the TV.
Milkshake!
They get the TV trays out to sit on the couch, but then when they're eating, they're just in other
Yeah.
garden chairs facing each other, not looking at the TV. What is going on?
And again, Jordan, I noticed the picture change in the background this
Yeah.
time. Because originally I was like, oh, it's a cruise ship, not the standard sail ship. That's interesting. And then in the next scene, it's fucking sinking.
Yeah.
Ooh.
As you said, Claire, we find out what Marge was cooking or fed them in the first place.
Yeah.
It's that same purple mush, but also I can't get over Homer bringing out 2 plates of presumably still frozen food and then mashing the plates together.
Yeah.
And they just perfectly blend and change color.
Okay,
And what
Do you
the-
want the plate of yellow sludge or the paint of
Green.
green
Okay, which
sludge?
one do you think was which? Was the porkeroni or the fish green? Which one?
Oh.
Fish green. Fish green.
I'm going to say the fish was green and the porkeroni was beige.
Well, yeah, Aroni has to be kind of beige
Yeah.
yellow.
Yeah, but it was like fish nuggets or something, he said. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he lift one up when he says which one is which?
Yeah, I thought it was his right hand was the fish nuggets and his left hand was the porkeroni. So I don't know
So
which.
what the fuck was going on with the porkeroni then? Why was
I
it
just
so
wanna-
green?
What the fuck is going on? Like, have these people ever seen food before? Like,
And why does their food pulsate when it like some kind of living like massive tissue? It's very strange.
But I also like that they called attention to the fact that Homer was there just standing there going, Bart, Bart, Bart. He's like, man, this tastes like dog food. If you eat this dog food, do you turn into a dog? And he's, Bart! He's like, no, I think that's just that.
Yeah.
I also just want to point out that when Homer drops his fork, the gap between the first clang and the second is so long. Again, it's
He's
really
using that big
surrealist.
fork from the picture.
Yeah, it's just what is going on? And also, Homer's butt, when he reaches down to grab his thing, is fat as fuck. You've got to it's juicy. It is. You just want to slap that.
So it's implied as well from the extra pot that he had that he made more than that first single serve of plates squishing together.
Oh yeah, he clearly went back to the kitchen and it was like, this is genius. I'm gonna put all my fisheroni with pork cuttlerinis.
No, clearly it expands when heated, so...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, it asexually reproduces by itself.
Yeah, I want to imagine in the animated studio where they're like, okay, well, what kind of food can you draw? Oh, human food. That pulsating mash people eat? That's food, right?
Rankings.
Cubic failure. What even is this?
I'm going for a silver again, just pure entertainment value of the dissection.
This is a gold for me. Like, it's amazing. I just want to watch it over
I'm so proud
again.
of you guys for being so brave because I haven't quite hit gold yet, and maybe I should.
I'm thinking gold for this one. It's just, I love it because it's so weird.
There's so much to look at and talk about, other than the other ones, which we talk about the bareness of there's so much happening.
Yeah.
But even the final button of like, oh, look at our husky men, and then
Cuddle together on the
Our husky men.
And then having a shared dream space where they're talking to each other in their dream.
Because that's the power of the fish nuggets and beefaroni. And I wonder if this weird food is meant to be like a commentary on, like TV dinners and stuff, the kind of quick, easy home meals that were really becoming prominent in the, late 80s, early 90s.
what
and
we
many
stocked up our freezer with yesterday when we got here.
And many people I know at the time took this as kind of the sign of the degradation of the nuclear family because you'd lost the mother role who would cook and blah, blah, blah. And so therefore this was like the
Dad
horrifying
learning to
replacement.
cope.
I know. It was...
While mum is just gallivanting with the daughters, going out to see a bear riding in a little car.
Dare she?
What are you ranking it, man?
I'm giving this one a gold. It is absolutely enjoyable.
I don't know what to give
I
this.
know.
Look, I'm going to go with my gut, as I always do. Silver.
All right, cool.
Milkshake. Well, that was fun.
Had a good
Number
time.
14, Space Patrol, where we see how this couch, as long as the kids hide behind it, they are invisible to Homer and Marge.
And such excellent placement in the middle of a room.
Yeah. So
What
when
I mean about the fucking geography of this
It makes no sense.
they
The
have
geography is as needed.
They have
Yeah.
so many mice as well. There are fucking mouse holes everywhere in this house.
Here's something I've always wondered. Are those mouse holes made by mice or people for the mouse?
I think it's the mice chewing through the wood or something.
I think it's the people trying to accommodate and live in harmony with the mice.
Because they seem like very nicely crafted archers.
They
You
are
know?
perfect arches, aren't they? Almost hand-drawn.
I really like how much more of this skit there was than I originally realized.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, should have said at the top, this is another one that was in the 138 episode Spectacular. But, yeah, we got a
Space
whole bunch of
Patrol.
deleted scenes in this
that's
one.
great.
The whole middle section, which I think was the better material.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I do like when Lisa and Maggie just poking Bart with sticks. There's
Yeah.
something very childish about that, and I love it.
Maggie sending him down the stairs.
Jesus.
Hey,
Holy shit.
We know that Maggie gets high that way, so
yeah.
she was just trying to help him out. It's like, hey, you're trapped. You may as well feel good by being high.
Do you want a trip, bro?
Also, Bart does have the same stars coming out of his head that she had when
Yeah.
she fell. So,
Oh,
yeah.
the eyeball horror on Bart when they smash
Yeah.
the vase. God.
The sound effects suggest that it seals tightly onto his neck, right?
Yes.
When
Yeah.
he puts it on.
Yes.
So he is suffocating in there if that's the case. They really need to get him out sooner. It's not that concussion at the
Yeah.
end so much as the lack of
carbon,
oxygen.
Carbon
Yeah.
dioxide poisoning as he breathes his own
Yeah, because, like,
recycled air.
yeah, what is that thing? Like, you use the paper bag when you're getting anxious and it's meant to calm you.
Hyperventilating?
Yeah.
Don't do that at home, kids. That's actually pretty bad for you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. You're breathing in your own carbon dioxide.
Yeah, hyperventilating is when you're constantly like breathing in too much oxygen and you're not expelling it correctly. So you breathe into a paper bag to help lower your oxygen levels, essentially. Not the sort of thing you should do
So yeah, this one, felt to your point before. It felt like we're sort of seeing more of what the Simpsons will become.
Yeah. There's a whole arc to this. It feels like a little story, not just a one-panel joke.
The other ones feel like a single idea with little sketches based around it, whereas this feels like a single arc.
And even like I've been complaining about the multiple setups, this sort of had the same thing, but like they did advance each one. They hurt Bart a little more each time.
This is also before Lisa becomes disillusioned with the kind of American dream because she's like, speak American, not speak English. It's like, American #1, baby, woo!
You commie alien scum. I love meat and capitalism.
I'm Lisa, right?
I love how inclusive they are with Maggie. She's there. She plays with them all the time.
Seeing as they are mutually like, hey, baby, why don't you grow up and make something of yourself, baby?
Yeah.
Well, ever since she got them high with pacifiers, they're all like, hey, this little shit knows a few things.
This baby's all right.
I like this one as well because this is Lisa starting to show her intelligence.
Yes.
As well. And Bart becoming...
And creativity.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's quite smart. She's creative. She's a little bit shit-stirring still because she knows that Bart would want out, but she's having fun with it.
I love Troll Lisa, though. Even, like, in the series proper, like, quit it. And all that sort. Yeah. Troll Lisa is a fun Lisa. Rankings.
I'm going to gold. I feel good about this one.
I'm going to silver it. It didn't make me as excited as the previous one. So, yeah, it's a step down, but it's still good. Silver.
I'm going to cubic it.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna cubic it as well.
Nice.
For what it is, it's a perfect little package, I
Neat
like
little
that.
package.
Well, yeah, I'm going to gold. I think this is the most fun I've had. Maybe it was a surprise of the new scenes on it, but I really liked how this sketch played out. All right, we'll be back. All right, and that was number 15, Bart's haircut thoughts.
Guys, that was awesome. It actually felt like a whole episode. It had a plot. It had multiple scenes. It had beginning, middle, and end.
It
What
had
more
Bart
could you
with
want?
a hairline.
Yeah.
Had Bart looking like Kearney.
I got to say, the family were just savage AF.
Oh, dude.
Filthy beatnik. You need to get a haircut
Yeah.
immediately.
Beatnik.
Yes.
Filthy beatnik.
Why is Bart always wearing that hat?
I know. I was wondering the same thing. Fashion statement,
We
man.
see the first appearance of reoccurring character Jake the Barber.
Yeah, but isn't he the same barber who, when Bart's looking for a part-time job, he's like, you're going to pay me in hair? Are you insane?
Wait, isn't it also the good little girls don't get a lollipop?
Oh,
Or-
yeah, the
Knows how
peanut butter
important
one.
hair is to a little
Oh,
girl.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's him as well, right?
Yeah, Jake.
I was like, you stop your squirming or there's going to be a little ball girl with her lollipop.
Yeah. I loved this sketch. This was wonderful.
Yeah, again, it was like coherent and flowed and had an arc.
Yeah.
And the family laughed at Bart and it was funny. We laughed with his pain and at it.
I really liked when he was like shaking the hair out onto the paper and it starts off normal, like little pieces of hair, and then like essentially his whole scalp comes out onto the paper. That was a bit shocking.
That was a surprise wacky laugh for me. I really enjoyed that. And especially that, it once again undercuts itself by, having it just away.
The mournful wind sound effect as the hair blows off.
Oh, been there.
It's the chill sound from Animal Crossing New Horizons, if you have a recent reference.
I'll make a note of that.
Rankings. I'm going to give this a gold. That was fantastic.
Yeah, with the gold as well. Homer felt a lot like Homer. I mean, a little too, get a haircut, you happy.
Yeah.
But still, everything else was pretty close.
I think I'm going to give it a gold as well. No, I'm going to give it a cubic. I think this is essential because this is the first one that feels like a Simpsons episode. Even the house starts feeling
Yeah.
like a house. They've planned out multiple rooms and they have like...
Instead of just abandoned rooms with only a table and a deck of cards.
Yeah, it feels like there's actual geography. And I like that.
Oh, look, all your points are completely valid and I did really like it. But for me, no, not fail, but I'm sitting more on silver because it was enjoyable, but it also still felt a little bit simple, or to me. I don't know, just a very basic storyline. Good, but basic.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm somewhere in the middle of silver and gold. Sold.
Hey.
Sold to the man with the beard. I'm gonna go silver. Like it was fine. It was just like kind of like telling a story, but it wasn't super enjoyable to me.
Fair enough. All right. Next one.
God, Marge face.
Oh, those teeth, bro.
Side margins.
Hello.
Fresh cookies.
Number 16, World War III. So, again, another one from the 138 episode Spectacular, but in that special, we only saw the first scene. There was more to this one.
So many more. So many more.
This was really fun.
Yeah.
Again, Homer has this weird kind of very stern leader of the household vibe. Like, I mean, the Cold War was already over, wasn't it? If my history corrects.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
88, 87,
Yeah,
this
but-
would have come out.
Yeah. Berlin Wall
maybe
was
it
in-
was winning until like the early 90s, like 91
Yeah,
maybe.
like remnants of, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that very much, gotta be prepared. Bombs could be dropping at any moment. Down to the fallout shelter, which we have for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did they get this from? It's in the basement, but they've never seen that room before.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at the size of that door, man. Holy sugar.
But I mean, it actually had like a layout of the house, and there was like
Yeah.
a photo of Grandpa up on the wall, and it was accurate to his character model.
Yeah, we haven't seen Grandpa
Yeah.
yet. It was really charming. And again, much like the last one, I liked how this one was advancing each scene. It didn't feel like that repeating the same points.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where, I mean, in the last couple of episodes at least, they're really fleshing out the characters as they actually are.
Yeah.
And especially with Marge, she's coming a long way.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like Homer, but like it also doesn't not. But you can see like modern Homer doing this exact same thing.
Yeah, and always picking on Bart first as well.
Yeah.
Why'd you want a couple of brownies before bed?
What was I thinking?
I mean, they saved a lot of money with this one as well because they used, for about 5 to 10 seconds, like 3 of the exact same animations when
Yeah.
they're walking across the hallway, walking down the stairs, and then Homer pulling the bomb shelter shut.
I actually think they changed up the faces in the second one, though. Like, yeah, I noticed the rest of the family was looking less frightened and more like tired, basically. So I definitely think there was some reused animation because there has been in all of them, but they did change up the characters a little bit.
All right, rankings.
Silver.
I'm going to go silver as well.
I'm going to go gold.
I'm going gold as well. I liked how this one advanced.
I was going to go silver, but I'm just thinking about how it's in 4 sections instead of in 2 made it make so much more sense to me. Like the pacing, I'm not used to a 4 arc pace, you got your 3 section arcs is like established cinema,
Yeah.
but having a 4 beat storyline makes sense for 2 ad breaks in a show, and that was really interesting. So I'm rewarding it. Give me a gold.
Yeah, look, I mean, a point in your favor, man, is that like we are consuming this not in its original intended way, but I'm not going to put you through so far 17 episodes of the Tracy Ullman shows just to see this. Like, number 17, The Perfect Crime. Thoughts?
This is like the perfect example of where they're like, okay, there's 3 different jokes we could do. All right, let's do all 3 of them as different versions of the same one.
Yeah, because those are don't dare touch these scrumptious cookies.
But like, if that's split over multiple ad breaks,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's
a
like
little
a
bit more
running
tolerable.
gag, It's a throwback joke.
Well, once again, it was really interesting to see the extended version of this compared to what we've been seeing before.
Yeah.
And, I kind of like the short version better in this instance.
I agree. That was my thought, is that I thought they edited it way better and took
it
out
was
so much
punchier.
filler. Because, you got everything you needed from the beginning and ending scenes. The 2 middle bits were filler.
Why would Marge taunt him like that? Like, don't eat these delicious, scrumptious cookies.
Yeah, keep your
Like,
mouth cookies made with love. I'm going to leave for exactly 30 seconds.
But that's what she does. She leaves the children in empty rooms and conducts experiments on
Yeah.
them. This is the Marge pre-Simpsons episodes.
This is a metaphor for Adam and Eve and the tree in the Garden of Eden, you see.
well, I was going to say this is a precursor for those YouTube videos of my dog is so obedient he won't eat a burger even if I leave him alone in a room with it. Like, yeah. And we obviously haven't mentioned Marge's like Joker smile.
Oh, she looks so creepy side on.
You want to know how I made these cookies?
Wow.
Well, look, I mean, for me, it's not unenjoyable, but I think it's a bronze.
Like, I thought the middle sections really brought this down a lot for me to the point that I don't like the sketch. Like, and I thought in its incarnation in 138, it was good, but this... And especially, okay, she leaves him in here after he's already eaten half a tray.
Yep.
And then she comes back in the room with Homer, who's presumably got his eyes closed. She's got her eyes open and then acts surprised when he's like, where are the cookies? Oh, they're gone. Fuck off, participant.
I'm giving this a bronze because the moment where Homer's got his eyes closed and he's kind of looking up a little bit and sniffing the air,
Yeah.
his model is like
almost
current
exactly,
Homer. Yeah. He doesn't have the weird kind of Abe-shaped head. It's really quite spot on, and they kind of solidify that. So yes, that's just pulls it up to a bronze.
I'm going to go bronze as well. I think Maggie is an MVP in this one. That little bit where she mimics being Bart is a really good bit.
Oh, that is.
And the
like
house
she's
actually
trying to
is
tell us
really starting to look like a house now,
Yeah.
which is really impressive.
Yeah.
The character model's a little more solidified. Bart looks weird, and Marge is a waking nightmare. But everything else does
so
come
right.
together. I agree that the pacing of it really sucks because he just goes, cookies, the perfect crime, like 4 times. I got it. And I know we're watching in the wrong format, but still, it's just played out. It's just,
You know what? I think I'm going to give it a gold.
really?
Yeah, I think I am.
Gold, really?
Yeah, I'm going to give it gold. I thought... Hang on. I thought, like, I'm really getting into this whole multiple ad break format, and I can really feel like you have your interview segment or your live action something, and then comes back to the same little running gag animated bit, like an Itchy and Scratchy at the end of your clown show. And so having it do different takes on the same thing really makes sense for that era of, like, your Academy Awards with a running sketch show at in it or whatever.
Look, I
you
get
know?
what you're saying, but like for the purposes of what we're doing now, we're judging the sketches as they are, and we're not watching the Tracy Ullman show.
No.
Like,
Hey, we've had a variety of ratings across this whole thing. Let him
If he
have
wants
his
to go to the
gold.
gold.
To me, it feels like that's what they're going for. Like, now they're trying to write to a purpose of having 4 takes at a joke, to have a running gag throughout a different show.
yeah, so that's the motivation of the sketches, but were the individual parts like really that good, man?
Well, the other thing I was really impressed with is they're starting to be creative with camera angles and things. They have like the wide shots of the under nose.
I think they've been doing that all along, to be honest. Like, I've noticed, like, they've been doing like high, weird, like kind of
it's been
shots
getting more and
from
more
underneath.
interesting though. Like it did start out as a very flat Gary Larson-y sketch
I
show.
kind of feel like if they give this
I
show
don't know
30
about it.
seasons, it'll be amazing.
32 in a movie.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, whatever.
Let him have his gold, you...
Everyone's allowed wrong opinions, and that's all right.
God damn
That's
it.
Say that was
usually
it.
my
I'm just saying
line.
you are allowed one
Oh.
if it is wrong.
Let's play the next one.
All right, so we have our first Treehouse of Horror episode. This
Yeah,
was
nice.
number 18, Scary Stories. What do we think?
I think they need to save on animation costs this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the, traditional Eyes in the Dark kind of thing.
Yeah,
Simpsons
Eyes in the
have.
Dark is a great, like,
But,
look at what we can animate. It's them being creative.
yeah, but it really needs something else going on.
Yes.
The eyes reminded me of the opening theme to Trapdoor.
Yep.
Don't you open that
yeah.
trapdoor. There's something down there.
I didn't think it was phenomenal, but I did think that they're getting a feeling for this 4-panel gag thing, you know? The whole 4 takes at the same joke is sort of the running thing they're leaning into.
Yeah.
I liked the Strangler one. That was funny.
When
Yeah,
Maggie
just-
was just choking him out.
Just giving him the rear naked choke. Jesus fucking Christ.
Because like you really just expected Bart to be pretending
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
to freak out Lisa, but Maggie actually had him in a chokehold.
It was kind of given away by her eyes, but I also like that the first person to choke Bart in the Simpsons canon is actually Maggie and not Homer.
Yeah.
So that's
And
nice.
Homer's like, hey,
Yeah.
that looks like fun.
Well done.
You mean you can silence the boy like this?
I guess that's a problem because, like, after that was done, the later ones just didn't feel surprising. Like, you kind of.
Yeah, well, they did. Maggie was the cause of it twice, and that was
Yeah.
kind of what bumped me out a little bit.
I guess I liked how Bart elevated the story, like, way unnecessarily. There's a man, he's approaching, and he's also a vampire, and he's sucking. Like, I kind of like the kid, like, not being able to tell a good, scary story.
Well, I even quite enjoyed the first one where he couldn't find the light switch
Yeah.
and freaked himself out. Like that was good too. Like overall it was quite fun. I think it was fun.
For some reason, I got really hooked on the fact that Jordan gave Maggie like a Bane voice. You merely adopted strangling the boy. I was born to it.
Molded by
Yes.
it.
No, you were doing Homer. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
the dumbest man alive.
It's okay, man.
Jesus Christ.
I like Maggie as Bane, though, I'm not going to lie. That's weirdly interesting.
It's not the first time she's had a really deep voice. Like she has
Yes.
this is indeed a strange universe.
Yeah, that's true.
But just Homer's like, baby on board. And she's like, oh, what a lovely singing voice.
I was
then-
already on board.
You adopted the on board.
Then you have permission to sing.
I actually quite like this one, and this is one where I'm giving a point to your points about, seeing how it fits in the thing. And, like, even though they are hitting the same jokes for me, like, I guess come to think of it, the one that really didn't work for me was the parents arriving home. That felt very obvious, that one.
Yeah, because it's like, how did Bart plan
there was
that?
no setup to his stories. Like, they heard footsteps, and the footsteps got closer. That's footsteps.
Anyway, I'm giving it a silver. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I'm going to say silver too. Like, they're settling into a format. It's not the new Simpsons format, but, like, it feels like they're finding their feet.
Yeah, silver too.
Yeah, my brains are on a silver, my blood's on a bronze. So we're going to go with the brains for a change and
That's
say
a good
silver.
song.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And I'm actually going for bronze because I liked half of it and I didn't like the other half.
I'm the same way, but I've decided to go up. So.
Da, 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 da.
I'm never going to give you up.
And how?
Number 19, Grandpa and the Kids. Thoughts?
I got a genuine laugh out loud on this one where Grandpa's sitting them all down on his knees like, I had to walk 20 miles in the snow and we had no TV and we had no pacifiers, had to suck on hunks of wood, and instead of entertaining TV, we had to listen to old man stories from my grandpa. And he's like, yeah, was your grandpa a liar too? I'm like, ha, you got me, Simpsons.
Yeah.
You got me.
Lap was slippery. I liked that act. I didn't like the other three.
Yeah, me either.
Just going to say, I really liked seeing Grandpa's eye peek open. It was really, playful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Look, I think this was a nice introduction to Grandpa's character. It gave a nice overview of the kind of character he is, and it's actually relatively fleshed out.
Yeah.
Like, I could see later Grandpa doing this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives them the old pretending to cry bit. It's not the same as pretending a heart attack, and Bart thinks he's going to the electric chair or gas chamber.
Yeah, which would you prefer? I guess probably gas chamber.
Ride the lightning, bitches!
Total chair.
Really? I think I don't want to smell myself cook.
Oh, dude, Homer inspired me. Like that episode where he thinks he's going to the electric chair and he's just gorging on his last meal, and he's like, when they fry me, kablamo!
Yeah. You just eat a bunch of uncooked corn kernels.
Oh.
No, I want to eat something I actually enjoy.
I like come on, the kernels are going to pop. You'll be like,
They would not.
wouldn't
How do
they?
you know? Also, Bart saying no, society killed Grandpa.
Oh, and the first instance or the first introduction of the happy little elves.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm going with a bronze. I was cubic first section, fucking hated everything else.
Yeah, I'm bronze too. It's fine. It was just a couple of the writing was not very exciting or fun to watch.
I'm going to bronze as well. It feels fair.
I'm actually going participant because it was a good sort of starting point for Grandpa, but it didn't actually grab me much.
I'm going to say bronze. I thought it was playful and cute, and he came across as a well-rounded character. He felt fleshed out and everything,
Like an old man should.
Yeah, and it still had the 4-beat running joke thing, except it didn't feel like 4 swings at the same apple. They kind of had a moving storyline. So, yeah.
And he had his signature bolo tie even back then.
Yeah. Dude's going to lose that thing.
All right, cool. Done.
Yeah,
Any more?
boy.
We're back to Lynchian things again. Fall off a waterfall about life is but a dream.
Sneaky. I'm just going to say blanket, this is an all
Sneaky
fucking
peeks.
sneaky peeks, this, yeah.
If you...
Yucky.
Like the dreamer dreams, then lives inside a dream.
We were watching it originally. Oh, sorry.
Oh, thanks, Claire. Number 20, Gone Fishing. Thoughts?
If you were watching it for the first time and it cut to ad break, just as Bart is like, what's the matter, Homer? What's the matter, Dad? And he's just you would assume that his dad has just murdered his son. Because that's cut to ad break and there's no reference back to it. It's just, he has definitely beaten his child.
Oh, dear
And
God.
it was such an aggressive reaction to it's not something that Bart did on purpose.
He was all, put the boat in the water, and he did, and he lost control and went out adrift, and then Homer's like, I'll kill you, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
And I don't know, this Homer is he is the disciplinarian, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
The kid calling him sir, and
Yeah.
even the fact that he forgot the bologna sandwich,
He's like, I want my bologna
sandwich.
now, boy. Rah.
I mean, I loved the bit with, him putting the bait in and just Homer wolfing it down.
Oh, that made me feel really ill. I didn't like that at all.
Oh.
But then the
The
other
sandwich
part,
index.
yeah, the sandwich. Look, that part was like, it was a good bit, but he shouldn't have been so frightened.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, "Sing me a song, boy." I'm like, what is going on?
Soothe my weary nerves
like,
with your
sing that-
tender voice.
Sing that song you were singing before. Like, sing it again. Yeah, like it's very scary.
You'll sing
Homer.
until your father is full of baloney and sleepy.
Also, those aren't rapids. That's just a few rocks in the river. There was
They
no...
should call them slow pants.
They were like,
You are not my son.
See, what I hate about that joke is like rap doesn't mean fast.
No.
Like, anyway, sorry.
Also, Homer loses a shoe at some point. He's just, when he's fishing in the last section, he's just got one shoe and one bare foot.
So dumb again. He had the cross on there. Sing me a song, boy. This was fucking weird, participant.
I'm going to give it a bronze. I did notice when they're going down the waterfall, the kind of side-to-side rocking motion is the same as Maggie falling out of the tree in the bassinet. Yeah.
You know, this felt like the precursor to that episode where they get lost in the woods.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
and you can tell with a few of these that they've decided to like flesh out this idea and make it a whole episode later on. Yeah, I'll go bronze too.
Actually, I'm going to give it a bronze because during the Rapids thing, I think they were doing some interesting things with the camera and zooms and
Yeah.
stuff. And like, obviously, like not animating the zooms, but using actual camera zooms, I thought was really like inventive. So yeah, I'm going to bump it up to a bronze.
I agree. Definitely a bronze. I don't feel like it was an amazing episode, but it's still trying new things and it's getting them out of the house more. So it's like, I reckon it's turning into a story.
I'm going to participant. I kind of wanted to fail it as well. I didn't like any of this. But it was okay-ish, and I appreciate there's a little bit more artistry in the directions and stuff. Just the character beats didn't make sense. Why was Homer so angry? Why is he suddenly like, my baloney, rah, rah. Why
true.
of all songs, when he's like, sing me that song, couldn't they just make something up like, oh, sailing while with my dad, he ate baloney? Like, why? Who wants to hear Row Your Boat? Literally no one in the entire world.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to know it. He's like, sing me that song you were singing before. I've
Yeah,
never
that
heard
old
that.
sea shanty.
That song, that strange new song.
They're the one that all the kids are singing these days.
Yeah.
I feel like it was really interesting seeing the American militaristic thing of your kid calling you sir. There's that expectation. He's going to call me sir. He's going to make me my bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, maybe he was just in charge of packing all the food, and that was the one thing he had to do, and he fucked it up.
Yeah, but like he also had to carry that freaking boat all the way to wherever that was.
And
like,
launch it.
Honestly, you guys are reminding me of when I went participant in the first place. Participant. Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's move on. Let's move on.
Schlets.
Number 21, skateboarding. Thoughts?
I thought this was really cute.
Me too.
It's cute but unrealistic.
Oh my
Women
goodness.
can't skateboard. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this is weird. This means
Just to clarify, Jordan was fucking kidding.
yeah. I'm just
Wasn't he?
I feel like
Don't be a
that should be
skateboard
obvious,
apologist.
but okay. Yes, that is
What
obviously
about babies? Can babies skateboard?
sarcasm. Yeah, that in all the other episodes, like Bart is like a really good skater, and like no one really kind of measures up. So it's strange that they're doing this, but yeah.
But that's, I mean, even though it's not really Simpsons canon, but I liked that Lisa was good at this as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And like significantly better than him. Like it was just a nice idea and a nice way to play with the family dynamic because she was still coming off not as like a particularly, she still had her sense of being smarter than him as well. You know, it wasn't that trade-off to make her, you know, oh, she's super sporty or punk or anything like that. Like she was smart and she could just quietly do it better than him.
Bart is also a boy who didn't realize that both his sisters were on the same skateboard as him.
I liked that pull-out reveal.
I know, I did as well. I really wasn't expecting it, but it's like,
Yeah.
how did you not notice?
He's just,
He's in the zone, man.
yeah. The quiet solitude.
Yeah.
Fuck, their teeth look weird.
Yeah. Where is this hill as well?
Right
Is it-
next to the backyard.
Yeah, maybe.
They
Next to
must-
that backyard that has the cliff, the ditch, the dog, and the...
I was
Yeah.
wondering whether it's the hill from like further on with what's Lovejoy's daughter's name?
Jessica.
Jessica, like the one that
Rabbit.
she
Who's
dares
she
him to go
played by
down.
Beach?
Glenn Close.
Oh, really?
Glenn
I thought
Miller.
it was Susan Sarandon. Tom Hanks? Is it Tom Hanks?
He's COVID-free, I was reading.
Oh, good.
For him.
He's out of Australia now.
Oh, bye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
He's a big fan. That's good.
Thanks for listening to us.
Nice. No, I mean, not great, but you know. Where was I?
I don't know, you tell me.
Oh, shit.
You
I
like
gotta-
this one, dude?
I sort of did, but like not heaps. Know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It was cute to see the kids acting like kids, and I do like when Lisa's, what you doing? Skateboarding. It's for men. Oh,
Yeah.
so why are you
Yeah.
doing it? Oh, burn. It's a very
woman.
It's a very childish. No, it's like he's not manly though. That was,
I know.
Reminds me of when
Why do you hate women, Jordan? What's wrong with you?
Look, I like
He's
Lisa.
had to share a mic with one that keeps pushing him off, like with her elbow, like, I can't wait.
But you guys are like so similar volume-wise. I've tried combining all of you, and you guys just share the best mics.
Yeah, it's almost like you're equals. Wow, what a concept, Jordan.
Yeah, we're like Mike D and Killer Mike in one.
Killer Mike D.
Yeah, because we're sharing the mic.
Hey.
What's your ranking?
Killer.
I'm giving it a
Wait,
bronze.
so Run the Jewels in Beastie Boys?
Yeah, that'd be a good combo. I would listen to it.
Run the Beasties.
Yeah, okay, I'm sold.
Beastie Jewels.
RTBB. What's that extra B for?
run the boys. Just run the boys.
Oh, run the boys. Anyway, what are we ranking this thing?
Bronze.
Yeah, I'm a bronze as well. I had just the good enough time.
I don't know. I'm charmed by this one. I'm giving it a silver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving it a bronze. Once I started saying it was too late, I was just like, too late to bang it now.
Yeah, just call Jordan at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is only in a couple of hours now.
Yeah.
So
Oh, geez Louises. I sort of got the impression of, you know how sometimes Garfield has one long comic strip and sometimes it's 4 small comic strips?
I do know that.
Yeah, man. That's what this was. And they weren't amazing. They were just fucking Garfield. But Garfield isn't trying to be amazing. He's just trying to be Garfield.
I don't know.
Shh, don't fight with him.
Given how much the creator of Garfield kind of hated it, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, still Garfield minus Garfield is like one of
it's
the best
amazing.
like spin-off comics ever. Anyway, I want to say that I'm giving it a silver because I really liked it as well. It could have actually been a gold if they'd maybe like done that extra part to it. Like maybe if they'd gone a little bit further and honed in on it somehow, I would have ranked it up.
yeah, same. I wanted one more joke because,
Yeah.
it's a silver for charming, not for hilarity.
I just need to rebut your point that
Fuck.
Lasagna Cat's video of 27th July 1978 is actually the best piece of Garfield media out there in the world. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible. It's an hour long.
And
it's
if
one
people-
take. You should watch it.
If people want to disagree with you, Jordan, where can they at you?
Nowhere, because I don't have an online presence, so you can shove it up your butt, like Stanley would say.
I haven't heard of that service. I'll try it
Yeah.
out.
That's how you get to his anal corner.
Hey, yo.
Self 5.
No, but honestly, do watch Lasagna Cat's video, 07/27/1978.
All right, next. Oh, you killed me.
Ooh.
The Pagans.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a
I'm
lot.
on board.
Wait,
Double cubic.
Ooh.
do your introduction, Elliot.
I don't know how. 22, the Pagans.
22 the Pagans.
That dad, we're pagans now.
Look, you know what? I kind of like this because it looks like the kind of like bullshit that Lisa and Bart would cook up
Yeah.
when they're like on the same team.
Yeah.
Like it's something that Lisa has clearly read about because I could totally see her being a pagan and Bart's doing it to get out of church. I actually quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's one of those rare team ups when they work together and it works. Yeah, it's great.
I wonder if this got in trouble with some censors in the late 80s,
yeah.
like
You mean
network
for
TV.
use of pagan or for
Yeah,
use
like
of...
talking about being pagans. No, Dad, we're pagans. Or my pagan soul yearns to roam free. Like that. I
The
can imagine.
show showed children dancing in their lewd underwear,
Oh, I was-
and they summoned rain, and it worked. This is witchcraft, and I want to
Yeah,
take it off
that's-
the air.
That's what I was more worried about.
You know
like
what?
them saying it was devil
we've been-
worship or.
We've been complaining a lot about, supernatural elements and, voodoo working in the world, modern Simpsons, but it was baked in from the beginning,
Yeah.
Jordan, I'm going to call you up at 3 a.m. and take back my ranking for what to expect when Bart's expecting.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, this is obviously real, and you can impregnate horses.
Yeah, I do like
Inseminate horses. Inseminate horses, not impregnate.
All right, away from the mic.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't impregnate the horse via voodoo. They just decided that voodoo didn't work on horses, so they actually made 2 horses fuck.
Those 2 horses made love.
Yeah, sorry. Clare, again, another reference to Call of the Simpsons where they're using those tree branch undies.
Yeah.
I have to say the animation of Lisa and Maggie dancing was like
Wild,
you have to
man.
watch it. If you watch nothing else, watch that.
Yeah, look, I'm in this cubic failure territory for this one. I'm going to say a silver because it's just so fucking wild and weird.
Yeah.
But I do like a lot of the jokes, and
Yeah, I did quite like when they're driving along and then the tire pops and he's like, "Thank you, nature."
Look, and it was a very cohesive and complete story as well. You know, it felt like nicely tied in, and having the kids like go and find sanctuary in the church from Homer, like that was good. That was neat.
Although I do wonder, what was Marge doing during all this? Because Homer's trying to change the tire and the kids are out running around. And where's the mama at?
She's running PR because like she can't have it known that her kid's a pagan.
Yep. Too many clutching pearls going on.
The running
PR
away.
being pagan retractions.
Yeah, pagan rituals.
The running away of the children with Homer chasing them was very Scooby-Doo. Like the running with arms outstretched. Like,
Yeah.
it was reminding me of that.
Well, how do you run?
With my arms beside me like Tina.
No, I run with
straight
mine behind me like Naruto.
Yeah.
I lean away from the mic to run.
Chocolate run.
Sounds like a bad time.
It does.
Naruto run in Area 51. Chocolate
Nice.
run.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, actually, sorry, I've just got to cut it. I feel bad for Tazon because he wrote a song about like institutional racism and everyone just makes fun of I turn away from the mic to breathe. And that guy actually tried to make a difference and everyone just
know,
makes
but
fun of him. And I think it's shit.
It's fair, but the video is just so weird. Like, he's so oddly stiff and his face is...
Didn't somebody
And then he did a Dr. Pepper commercial, so with the same
It's
song.
so weird. It adds in like an extra half beat because it goes cherry chocolate rain. So it doesn't flow at all. It's fucking odd.
But didn't they use Chocolate Rain to tap into like police speakers in LA?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Good,
Yeah.
good, so good. Anyway, sorry, Dan, what were you saying?
Oh, look, I'm going to give it a silver. I think I'm starting to really get a feel for the idea of watching my daily show and having it borderline by this running gag thing. And I'm like, it wasn't an amazing episode, but it was fun. I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
I'm on a silver as well. It's odd, but I had a good enough time, and I do like Bart and Lisa teaming up. It's always fun.
I'm going to go gold. I
I think-
actually really like this.
Hey.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. And I think Maggie is just a pure anarchist. She's just chaos personified in this. She's
it, yeah,
helping
I'm
them.
going gold,
She's
yeah.
hurting them. Who the hell knows? She's choking Bart out a second it gets dark.
Yeah.
She's a snitch sometimes. What are you, Maggie?
Yeah,
You
she is just
beautiful
a-
conundrum.
She is. You're right. She is an agent of chaos. She just sows discord everywhere she goes, essentially.
She's pretty explicitly
Silver.
the main character of this show.
Oh yeah.
Number 23, Closeted.
23.
It's called Closeted.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I know.
Choo.
Yeah, well, you know,
Interesting.
Bart might have some leanings as we see later on.
Bartina.
There is a really scary black and white photo of Marge as he's running up the stairs. She's like scowling at the camera, and it's a strange thing to put up on your wall, I would say.
It's her don't eat the cookies face. Don't burp. Don't do anything. I'm Marge.
There was another photo actually that I noticed in this one, but I don't know who it was of. It was somebody with a shaved head, like an army photo. They looked really sad. It was right next to the closet door. So yeah, if somebody could, write in and tell us who that was.
Oh, was that beside the one of like Homer at a party or something? Because there's like streamers and he's like, yeah. The
On
other
the other
side,
side.
yeah.
Right in.
There was really interesting like use of framing where they had the keyhole shot of
Yeah.
Maggie's eye coming closer and closer to the camera. That was really cool.
And they had like the white reflecting in the pupil of her
Yeah.
eye to make it like really like close up and Disney looking. I really like it. And that joke I popped really hard for.
Just do what I would do, Maggie. Just runs off and watches
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, runs down
Yes.
to their one-seater couch.
Tiny baby-sized couch.
Yeah.
Like overall, I just like this one. I like that he found Lisa also hiding.
Yeah.
Though obviously not successfully because she went out for milkshakes.
Very Homer 3D. Oh, they got me with their legal mumbo jumbo.
Yep.
Yeah.
All very Binding of Isaac, one or the other. Goes to hide in the toy chest.
Oh God.
Yikes.
I think it's like a nice, solid silver. Like it's a nice little story, and it's the second in the frosty chocolate milkshake count.
Yes.
Playlist.
Yeah,
Frosted chocolate.
I'm giving it a cubic. This is the first one that I'm giving it a cubic because I think this is the one that I thought fucking nailed it in each act, and I really liked this one.
This definitely had more momentum than the previous ones. I'm going to sit on a silver, though. That's just where my heart guts are at.
I was going to go for gold. But yeah, I completely agree. This is just really neat. There's nothing I would actually change about this. The only thing is obviously the house once again has changed. And I don't know why it's changed for the worse. The single armchair is a bit strange.
Actually going to move up to a gold because I do like when he reads the note about frosted chocolate milkshakes. He just gets a glimpse of Maggie in the back seat driving off, and she's like, I get everything. Everything. Chaos is mine, Bartholomew!
Oh, Bartholomew.
And I love him just going back into the closet again.
Just defeatist.
Who haven't I got yet? Danny and Danny.
Oh, shit. Well, which one first? Yeah, I think I'm going to go silver. I liked it.
Ranking the cookie one higher than that?
Look, don't question the man. He's
Okay,
gotta follow the
sorry.
heart.
They're
Gut
individual
instinct,
ranks.
man. Gut instinct.
Okay, I can't, yeah.
You didn't give me trouble when I said silver.
Each did say silver.
But you changed it to gold.
I know, but you didn't hassle me when you didn't know that.
Yeah, but he set a precedent.
He said silver, and then the second you're like, what do you mean silver? What's wrong with you? Give me my bologna sandwiches right now.
Yeah.
I would like one if you'd offer it.
I think I get some worms out back.
All right, guys. This will presumably be the last one of this section. We're up to 24. It's halfway through. Let's watch it. And Shag and Beach, I'm just going to say sorry ahead of time for bringing up some bad memories.
Oh, all right.
All right. Number 24, the Aquarium. Thoughts?
A shark! My boy's a shark!
Shark boy!
I gotta point out, it's really weird that Bart has lucky red swim trunks and later on the lucky red hat, and even, almost the same box factory reaction of, oh, my boy's a shark.
So just for context in how I set this up, because they ran this short ahead of that terrible Lisa Gets the Blues episode, in an episode which already had fucking 4 intros. It made no sense why they decided to include that bit. And it was missing the last scene from this, which I think was the best scene. I don't know why they included the first bits, which I didn't like. Like Bart getting eaten by the shark. It's like, okay, Bart's dead.
And then he jumps out. Is this the first time we see Bart's butt?
Ooh,
Yes.
Bart watch.
Yeah.
I am cancelling this segment.
And cancelled.
It was. Why did they decide to make the bass, look like Homer? Is there a reason for that?
Because
Hideously ugly.
It was hideous. That's true.
I like this one.
Oh, sorry.
No, I think it was funny. I mean, it wasn't, amazing, but I think it's a solid bronze.
How the fuck did Bart do the trick, in quotes, of getting in the shark's mouth? Because as we all know, the shark's teeth point inwards. So once you're in, it's very difficult to get out. So he's definitely dead, right?
Oh,
he's
dead.
been eaten to death.
Yeah.
It's not a party trick.
That was Hugo, actually.
Oh, right.
That's
All
fine.
makes sense.
So that was Hugo Buttwatch.
Hugo
Segment
Butt.
also cancelled.
Yeah, once you're cancelled, man. I did like Lisa's line of, I want to see a squid and a whale fight to the death.
Yeah, the
Yes.
bloodlust.
Yeah.
That was good.
I'm going to go with the bronze. It was, I had some fun, but more the wackiness I felt, even then, it's not bad. It's just, we're watching the Simpsons walk, and the more wacky ones feel like it's just walking into a wall.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go gold on this one.
You're Dennis Perkins, man. You're fucking Dennis Perkins.
Danny, the wild card, Rosewell. It fits.
It felt good, man.
I'm going a bronze on the strength of that last bit, and it just still baffles me that they included those first 2 bits ahead of that other episode. But, it's New Simpsons.
Nothing about that episode made sense.
It's not weird enough to be really entertaining to me. But it wasn't completely all. I think I have to give it a participant. I'm nothing this segment. I don't really give a shit. Like, it was, I want pulsating meat and weird non sequiturs in my
In Pagans by the
exactly.
buttload.
This is nothing. Yeah, this is participant to me.
All right, cool. Well, that's 24 of these things down, and so that was a bit of fun. I guess we'll be back for part 2 at some time. Who knows when that'll be? That was a very interesting experiment to see Simpsons. Does anyone have some overall thoughts about?
Did it feel like The Simpsons?
Does this
That's a good
feel like an
question.
episode of The Index?
We ranked 24 sketches. The catch is that each one are picked chronologically.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Homer is a very different archetype to what we see. This is he's got that weird kind of militaristic streak, and I guess that was very reflective of fathers of the time. I'm curious what Groening's own father was like, and especially fathers on TV, I suppose, just coming out of the Cold War and all that. But
Yeah, this is like right at the end of Reagan, right?
yeah. So interesting. Like,
He's a bit more beaten down, a bit more like
quick to anger.
Yeah.
And, it's just that.
gritty, isn't he?
But, Bart calling him sir and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really out of place for what we would eventually get, even in season 1.
Yeah.
So that to me is really interesting. All the other characters are pretty close. Like, obviously, Lisa's a bit more of a rapscallion, yeah. And she's not got that intellectual streak or her saxophone yet.
Yeah.
Maggie is almost exactly right. Marge is a little more absent than she will be.
I really don't like how they're writing Marge here. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
And it's never Homer's fault. He's not like blundering into things.
Yeah.
I mean, he sort of becomes the source of all the family's hubris, right?
Yeah, he's the foil at this point, though. He's the anti-fun.
They definitely don't have a handle on Marge. She's just a placeholder, which, unfortunately that makes sense to the kind of mother figures in TV at the time. They're
For
usually
sure.
pretty bland.
Hell, if they were alive.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's really interesting, like talking about Bart calling Homer sir, when later on he actually just calls him Homer. Like he doesn't even call him
yeah.
dad. So that's like a huge turnabout for his character that comes later. And I think, a huge change in their dynamic generally. So it's starting to feel like The Simpsons now, but there are definitely some character points that haven't been fleshed out or haven't been solidified yet.
Definitely. I'm surprised how front and center Maggie is, especially because how little they regard her later on with just so many plots of like, oh, all the Simpsons family and just traveling now and Maggie's not explained. Like,
Oh, that's the thing. Maggie's a really interesting character because she can, just slot in anywhere. Like she doesn't have any sort of defined characteristics of what she can and can't do. Even like as a baby, she's got a lot of agency in the episodes that they do use her. So it's a bit sad that they have stopped like looking at her as an actual character and she's just sort of like there.
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. I think The Simpsons main would like do a lot of underestimating Bart and Lisa from adult characters, but in this one, it's more Bart and Lisa underestimating Maggie sort of a lot of
Definitely,
points of
definitely.
these sketches.
Yeah.
I think it's been really interesting seeing the evolution of it from, I'd call it like almost pre-storyline, starting out as like Garfield strips and things, and becoming a show that was so heavily plot-based in like the first couple of seasons, and then almost moving on to post-storyline and becoming where the storyline is secondary to the
gag
the
factor,
gags
yeah.
at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
What a weird full circle.
Seriously.
Sure. But would you watch it again?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, laundry, maybe. Like, there's not a lot to pull from these, but it's still pretty interesting to see where it all started and what elements are there from the beginning.
I think I would definitely watch this again. I mean, the thing is, the bad ones are so short that it doesn't really matter. Like, I just have this on, you get from it what you will. And the weirdness of it, even the ones that aren't particularly funny because they're written well, they're just funny because they're strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely worth a
We're
rewatch, I think.
pagans.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed dissecting all these weird purple food episodes.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this a lot more than I expected to. Like when you said we were doing the shorts, I thought, like
Yeah.
when you said let's do 15 initially, I thought, yeah, that's probably about it. Like I'm going to tap out. But I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I think this was a better way to consume it because when I first watched the shorts, I was watching them one after the other, and I did 30 in one night, and I found that sort of watching that much sketch a bit exhausting. But breaking it up like this was nice, and not to plug the podcast that you're actually listening to, and presumably at this moment would have listened to the whole thing. But I think it's the wise decision to do this watch along because it's fun. Podcasts are good.
Yeah.
Podcasts are good.
What other questions do I have in that thing?
Well, I mean, if you could have a sandwich, would you take the fish nuggets or the porkeroni?
Bait.
You'd take the bait. Okay. Wow. Enjoy your worms.
Worms.
I'd kind of like to
Yeah.
play with taking these episodes and putting Twin Peaks music to it and stuff. It's got a really surrealist vibe,
Yeah, I could
especially
do
the
that.
early stuff.
We are like
We are like the dreamers who dream
and then
and live inside the dream.
Yes.
I want
yes,
to-
yucky bits.
I would like to just cut them together randomly and see if you could come up with a whole episode somehow.
No, I want to take
Yes.
every kind of just empty, forlorn line, like, I love mom, and life is but a dream.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
And then here I am. Yeah, and then just crawling out from behind the couch.
We'll call it
Yeah.
Simpsons minus
cut
Garfield.
with those, the alien Bart and Lisa
Yeah.
staring into Maggie. Yeah.
Yeah. And put behind that some, just weird progressive rock music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Bart just like on loop singing "Row, row, row your boat."
Yeah.
Sir, look at it.
No, just row, 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 row.
Love it. On aesthetic. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for joining us. And that's been Danny Rosewell.
I'm Danny Rosewell.
That's been Claire R.
Thanks for having me, Elliot.
That's been Jordan Frost.
Yes.
It sure has.
Correct.
You've been really fucking me up with your response.
I'm not here to make your job easy, Elliot.
Clearly.
For some reason, there was no full stop on the end of that yes.
Yes.
And thank you, BT Calloway.
Here I am.
Bitch, get out from behind the couch.
And as is my catchphrase for when we do the Ullman reviews, milkshakes! Milkshakes!
Milkshakes! Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes! Could only be more Irish if his middle name was Guinness Punch.
Oh, if the Dublin Guinness Punch.
Oi.
Yeah.
You could really clock somebody with that.
You definitely could.
Wait. We're in the study.
Claire in the study
Oh my
with
God.
the weird massage
Where's
thing.
Professor Plum?
She's wearing all mustard.
Ah.
You're the Colonel!
Yes, and you'll never get my chicken recipe.
Dun, 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 dun. Intermission.
Intermission.
Dun.
What's
dun,
our
dun,
mission?
Dun, 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 dun.
Intermission.
Oh, nice. Good turn of phrase. What's the tool one?
It's just, a jolly version of H. So.
Mm. Oh my god, because oh my god, you've blown my mind.
How did you not know that?
And it's weird because I'm normally pretty smart. Like I love Tool and Rick and Morty and stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're smart.
Like it normally goes above people's heads, but I like it, you know?
No, you have to have pretty high IQ to listen to Tool. Like Maynard turned himself into a pickle. A pickle, Jerry.
I'm Pickle Maynard! Vicariously.
AI, turn into a pickle.
While the whole world goes to therapy. What's some other Tool and Morty? Rick and Tool.
It'd be Rick and Maynard.
Sick. Wubba lubba dub dub, wubba lubba dub dub.
You ready for another adventure there, Maynard?
Oh, wubba lubba lubba, wubba lubba, wubba lubba, wubba lubba, wubba lubba lubba, wubba lubba lubba. Anyway.
And we're back.